This game has terrible audio, terrible lighting, and it's running 1 frame a second. But despite that, this game has made over $50,000 within just a few days of release. That's 62.5 more than the median game on Steam makes. And it's also somehow got good reviews.
And I know what you're thinking. That's a cute story for a game released in the 90s, but nah, this game came out in 2025. So how did this slop not only make $50,000, but also get a single good review? Because it was made using something called vibe coding, where you basically tell AI your idea and it codes it for you. I think AI CEOs are suffering from delusions of grandeur and severely need help, because they all think that this, the poster boy of all vibe coded games, is the future.
I will not be pressing space.
Don't believe me?
Claude CEO. By 2026, nearly all code will be written by AI. The Zuck. At least half of all code will be written by AI by next year. Some Amazon exec. Devs may not be coding at all in 2 years, which has led media outlets to write brain rot articles like this. And, yeah.
So I can't help but to wonder, am I missing something? I mean, of course the game is bad. Developing software is a difficult task that takes teams of people over multiple years. But what is with this mass psychosis around AI replacing highly experienced teams all within a few months' time? Either I'm crazy or Elon has been sharing his ketamine stash with the entire CEO class. There is no in between. So to figure it out, I'm gonna ask AI to code the 1969 classic Lunar Lander. Because if it can't even handle that baby code without me holding its hand, I think it's safe to blame it on the ketamine.
Here we go, boys. Here we go. I'm vibe coding, mom. And let's run this. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh, okay. I can use the arrows. Oh, snap. Wait, hold up. I'm actually having fun. Hold on a second. But is it possible to beat? Oh, because I ran out of fuel. Oh, I just clipped through. I'm a little impressed. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, landed successfully. Let's see if I can beat 1175. 1449. Okay, I think I seen all I needed to see here. Okay, not gonna lie, that was far more impressive than I was expecting. First try too. So is that proof that it's actually me who's crazy and the CEOs are perfectly sane peoples? Nah, I'm sorry, but no shot. When I say it's impressive, I mean it's impressive for state-of-the-art coding in the 1970s. Again, that is baby coding that they even teach in elementary school, using Scratch. If I really want to test vibe coding's power level, I have to put down the juicy juice and hand it a cocktail. And so I'm gonna vibe code a project I've never been able to code myself, an evolution simulator. Evolution simulators are the final frontier of coding. Back in 1994, researcher Carl Sims released this fascinating evolution simulator where primitive organisms would slowly learn to evolve over time and learn to swim, walk, jump, follow, and compete for food. And at the age of 14, I came across this and fell in love with the concept. But they are a lot of work to code and debug, especially if you want the sim to be entertaining to watch. And I find myself quitting halfway through every time. But if vibe coding is really about to replace all coders by next year, it should be able to do what I can't. But first, let's lay down some ground rules.
Rule number 1, I can't touch a single line of code. No hand holding whatsoever. If it wants this crown, it has to earn it. And rule number 2, thou shalt go download my ultimate dream game, Ultra Bouters. Okay, peep game. Have you ever watched Goku in a fight scene and thought, damn, I wish I could do that? Well, that's what I'm aiming to make for my turn-based fighting game, Ultra Bouters. And recently, players have been complaining that the AI is too easy and boring. So in my latest update, I just added a new impossible AI. So go play free today.
It's vibe coding time. All right, what model are we going with? We're gonna go with the gridded coding one. I'm looking to build an evolutionary simulator using Python. I essentially have the main simulation and also a sub simulation that simulates every single organism. Wait. Let's pause right there and get a better understanding on this design that I'm targeting. On the left are our organisms. They are what we're watching interact in the main sim. But on the right is the sub-sim, or what you can think as the organism's internal biology that drives behaviors in the main sim. And it works like this. Every organism has an internal grid, which is made up of a bunch of cells, or what I'm calling in this instance, receptors. There are 9 different types of receptors, and they all drive some behavior in the main sim. But in order for the receptor to drive drive, behavior, it needs to be activated. Thus, every receptor has a binding element.
Didn't I tell you that evil sims are the boss battle of coding?
Elements can essentially enter and exit an organism. There are 7 different types. And yeah, hopefully by now you can appreciate how cool this could be if it gets working. But enough yapping, let's get back to seeing what vibe coding is made of. How do you suggest we go about tackling this?
Clearly define your inputs, states, and outputs. Organism entity holds its own sub-simulation instance.
And I'm not gonna hold you. This went on for another 10-15 minutes, and a lot of it was very jargony and overwhelming. But in the end, I did like the direction we were headed. Okay, so right off the bat, this is really promising. The AI seems to have a good understanding on where I'm heading with this, and all from an image that I sent with a bunch of notes on it. It's even given me suggestions on things that I haven't even thought of for the sim, and it seems like it might be able to handle this pretty well. In terms of like design, this bot's pretty good. However, I'm no fool. I understand that like we're in its environment of being conversational, and it's really good at being conversational. But let's see if when the rubber meets the road, if it can really get down. I finally asked it for the first bit of code, and oh, there's no graphics. It's just ticks. It started off with a graphic-less evil sim. Boring. And honestly, nothing exciting really happens for quite a while. But I want to show you this clip because what makes it interesting is I have no idea what's going on in the code, and I'm genuinely asking the AI on a high level its intent to correct it if its intent doesn't align with mine. Are you simulating movements of the elements by way of having a raw vector position and then moving it?
I'm just doing straight vector moves right now.
No matter the result of this experiment, you gotta admit that's fucking tight. And after several minutes of trying to get on the same page, I was finally able to see some graphics. Yeah, I can just run that code that they just gave me. And this is what we got. The hell? Maybe I'm missing something, but why is it not animated? That's the whole point of an evolutionary simulator, right? Okay, here we go. We got something. It's a start. It's a start. Not quite how I would do this, but it's a start. I finally got the step 1 of the vibe coded Evo sim, and it felt very lackluster. I wasn't sure what I was looking at, if it was simulating it right. I didn't know if this was an issue because of the complexity of the idea, but at the same time, it's kind of the promise the CEOs are making, but I didn't give up just yet. After all, I was vibe coding and making progress, but I had to further consult the AI to figure out what was going on. Can you explain to me what it is that I'm looking at with this simulation?
In plain terms, grid colors equals where are the sensors, moving letters, where are the particles, step logic, particles wander around and reflect off the boundaries.
Okay, but am I looking at a loop or is it a continuing simulation? Can you limit it to maybe just 8 cells at the most? All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, I'll run it again. Bruh, I feel ignored. Thinking I was just gonna have the AI explain to me what's going on and then request some changes, it appears that it removed almost all the work that we've done so far. And so I just spent about 10 minutes sidebarring with the AI, using carefully selected language to try and be as clear as possible what I'm looking for. That looks much better. Maybe I just was not clear. All right, I'm excited to run this. Okay, so here we go. But now the elements are not moving. This is exhausting. It's not like the difficulty is in like trying to figure out the design to make this work. The difficulty is in getting the AI to listen to me, and that's just exhausting. How come the elements aren't moving? Can you get the elements to continue bouncing around and keep everything else the same, please? What are we sacrificing to get this code to work now? All right. Jeez Louise. I don't know what to do. It's just not listening. I asked it to add back in the GIF feature 3 times before I realized I should probably just tell the AI what specific library to use. And it worked again. However, without years of coding experience, I would have not have known to do that. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah, this is okay. I can work with this. So just a checkpoint. So it seems so far that the AI is capable of coding the stuff that you ask it to code, but it has issues sometimes understanding what it is that you want it to code, which is the antithesis to why you hire people, right? Like when you go and find good people to hire, what makes them a good developer or a good designer is that they can take hopefully very minimal instructions and create like a beautiful mosaic piece of art from those minimal instructions. And it seems like AI is the opposite of that. It's very good at coding virtually anything that you want it to code, but trying to get it into instructions that the AI is able to understand what you want it to do is the challenging part. So it's like, it feels like it's flipped at this moment, but this is good. Let's continue to try and build on top top of this. And so I optimistically pressed on to connect the main sim to the sub sim so I could finally see something cool. But this also was the beginning of a lot of frustration. But where's my GIF? Though? Nearly with almost everything I asked the AI to add, it would remove one or two things that we've already established. Can you keep everything the same but make sure that it renders a GIF so I can watch it? Always render the GIF. I need to be able to watch it to give you feedback. Got that back in, but then, yet again, I ran into the issue of trying to understand the AI's intent. I don't know what is going on here. Question for you, why do the letters all end up stopping at some point? What's that about? And I had to exhaustingly take another 20-minute sidebar to get back on the same page with the AI. Everything's great, it's working. I just have to instruct it next to make that mean something. Slow and annoying, but we're still making progress. But now, it was time to make some big boy moves. I instructed the AI to generate a few main sim organisms and simulate their subsims. And I removed the GIF again. Got that back in. Then another 20-30 minutes trying to sync my intent with the AI. And honestly, we just ended up repeating this pattern for a couple of hours. We get back on track. I'd ask to add another feature. It'd remove a couple other features. We'd add it back in. I wouldn't understand what the AI has done. Sidebar for 30 minutes. Back on track. Repeat. Until finally, I just reached my breaking point. All right. Let's run it. Yo, I can't do this anymore. Like there's a trade-off. It's like, here, I want this very beneficial change. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I'll do that. In exchange, I'll remove this, and that. I can't do this anymore.
So, did the AI successfully code an EvoSim? Is this a sign that all coders are soon to be charbroiled? You watch the video, you be the judge in the comments. Honestly, I say hell nah, and not even close. And here's my case, Your Honor. First off, there is no shot that someone who doesn't have experience in different coding methodologies will be able to get as far as I did. For example, the AI was struggling to make GIFs again, and so I suggested that it uses the pillow library. And if you've never coded before, you probably think the pillow library is where you rent antique pillows or something. Use AI to code small projects like a simple website, lunar lander, Flappy Bird. Fine. But outside of that, you are still gonna need to employ experienced coders to shepherd these AIs if this loony vision is truly gonna happen next year. But that's not all. This experiment ended with this sim not even working as I intended it to. We progressed to the point where the main sim and the sub sim were working together. Pretty impressive. We even added an energy source that could power the organisms. Very tight. But as a sane person, you would assume that the simulation was simulating time in chronological order, right? But after observing that all the GIFs were just a little off, I confronted the AI about this and it got all defensive and said this. Something about drawing one sim before the other sim so you can mutate a sim. No idea what it's talking about. I honestly feel like I'm having a stroke every time I read this reply. It eventually felt like the AI was just telling me what I wanted to hear to shut me up and not making any changes. But because of rule number 1, I had no way to confirm or deny that. On top of that, ChatGPT was erroring out because it was generating so much code. I just didn't feel in control. Trying to add a single feature became exponentially more and more time, and it just was not fun. And so I just followed rule number 2 instead. And you should too, by the way. But I don't know, maybe I am crazy, or maybe I'm too old school when it comes to coding. Maybe the new school of coders knows how to better wrangle this mess or has a higher patience for it, I don't know. But as it exists today, I still think CEOs have lost their goddamn minds. But if you want a true OG to code this EvoSim the old-fashioned way, just comment down below and I'll see what I can do. Thanks to all my beautiful, brilliant patrons on screen, and I'll see you all in the next one.